Wow. Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another video. Just ignore the Benji faffing about, looking for good lighting and that, trying to make himself look more holy and that, you know what I'm saying? I've lost my flipping trail of thought completely. Anyways, as always, drop a like, subscribe if you are joining us on YouTube. Make sure you help us grow the channel. I know we are also streaming for the first time on Twitter and Facebook. So if you're joining us on any other platform, feel free to drop a like on those platforms and get your comments in. As always, we are joined by Kojo, Benji, and Was. How are we doing, boys?
We're good.
Great, thank you.
You didn't know Was is coming.
Oh, yeah. It should be interesting to see what YouTube got to say all that. This Ollie in, Ollie out and nonsense that you guys keep going on about.
Peace, my peace, Benji.
Today's going to be a very positive podcast for me.
Yeah, it is going to be positive. That's the whole aim of it. Anyways.
I'm not in a good mood, Benji, by the way. Sorry.
So just that YouTube talk? Is it me and Coach
sorry.
Do the preview or what? Anyways, as always, like I said, show the boys some love. Their links will be in the description. Check them out on their socials. Coach has got 2 podcasts. Make sure you show love to both. Benji's got this podcast. Make sure you show love to us. And Was is just the guy on Facebook. So if you're joining us from Facebook, basically, Was is the person that deals with that. So that's Was. Anyways, let's get into it. Manchester United v Copenhagen in, I think it's the quarterfinals, isn't it? The quarterfinals of the Europa League. We'll start with Kojo. The only coach here. Kojo, how are you feeling about this game, brother?
I'm feeling positive. I think this is a game that we should win. Hi, Benji. I think it's a game that we should win. I think it's a game that we need to go and just take control of early. And Copenhagen haven't been great this year. They finished second in their league, but they did beat the champions of Turkey to get through to this round. So they've obviously got something about them. So we can't take any chances. But let's take the blame from them and let's go kill them off, man. Let's go through to the next stage.
Say no more. That's it. That's the end of the preview. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Benji, how are you feeling going to this game? Obviously, you're a tactical genius because you've always got something to critique. So, do you want to bestow, your knowledge on this game? What are your thoughts, mate?
I think it's going to be a very good game. I think it's going to be quite end to end. For me personally, I've watched a bit of Copenhagen recently, doing my homework and all sorts for the show.
Yeah. That's why I'm late.
And I feel like they play a high energetic game, and their fullbacks like to press up high. They like to press high up the pitch, and they're very direct with their wingers. There are a few Premier League players that used to play for them. So Brian Oviedo, I don't know if he'll be fit, played for them.
Is he the one from Swansea? Or is that
Everton?
Everton.
Might have played for Swansea as well. Might have.
No, it is Everton. Yeah, I remember.
Barella from United will know him from the time we beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
He lost the ball in for Rashford.
And
I think Bentner played for them as well.
Does he?
Who, sorry?
Lord Bentner?
No, he's not there anymore.
No, he used to be there.
He was there for like 3 months.
He's not there anymore.
Benji looking at all websites.
Great research, isn't it? Lord Bentner's still there. I was thinking, what the hell?
No, but he was there.
If Lord Bentner was still there, then.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good game, man. It's going to be energetic. I think one of the things what they're going to try to do is pinpoint Matic as the weak link of this team. I feel like the way they play and they press the ball high, they're going to target him a lot in this game. So it should be a fascinating end to a game, to be fair.
Yeah, obviously, like you've alluded to, their ability in terms of moving forward. I think I completely agree from the sort of highlights I watched. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit and say I watched Danish football. Week in, week out. I'm not gonna BS you guys, but I've seen enough of their highlights now, only from the Europa League games. I've not seen any of the league games, but I do think they do push very high up the pitch. In particular, the fullbacks. They seem to almost play as wingers, especially Varela. Obviously, he got the assist against Istanbul. What are your thoughts whilst going into this game, and what do you think in terms of Copenhagen? Where do you think they can hurt us potentially before we obviously go about our strengths?
Yeah, I mean, you guys all touched on the fact that they got decent wingers and wing backs as well. They do push forward and they actually play exciting football. I'm not going to claim to have watched loads of games. I've only watched the last 2 Europa League games. because I think that's what matters, and see what form they're in now, not their previous form. Obviously, compared to Lask and that, this is a massive step up. If we're going to compete in the Champions League next season, these kind of games are quite important in our progression and, to gain knowledge as well. Obviously, you can't lose it. It's not one of those ones that enjoy the day moment. Like I said last time,
I don't think any Europa League games that was.
It's gonna be a test for Ollie. I think I'm usually Benji's probably thinking, why is he not confident today? But I am confident. But I think these guys play decent football. They're not a pushover, like someone said in the comments as well.
No one said they're pushover in the comments. Have they?
Someone said something that we can't underestimate him, something like that.
Yeah, that's. Sorry.
Jam.
Yeah.
So basically, I think what Benji said about Matic. I mean, the last couple of games I've been on Matic. He's been playing really well, but if we get pressed there, I mean, that's where the problems occur in our central midfield, holding kind of position. Other than that, the players should be rested down. They've got 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I mean, I can't remember how much time.
Well, Maguire hasn't, but most other players have.
Maguire will be fine, man. He wasn't really tested last, really. That's nothing. It's all about Lindelof, isn't it, Kojo? It's all about Lindelof.
You started him off.
It's going to be a tight game. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's talk about, obviously, them as a team themselves. Right, I've watched only the Europa League games again. In the league, I don't really care too much. But I watched their game because they did actually knock out Celtic, for those of you that aren't aware. They got absolutely battered by Celtic in both legs. In the first half of the first leg, it was 1-1. And I think the second game, Celtic actually lost 3-0. But Celtic absolutely hammered them for 60 minutes prior to Copenhagen's goal, which was a defensive mistake where the defender slipped and then Copenhagen capitalized. But Celtic should have been winning 4-5-0 at half time. Like, I don't think there's enough exaggeration there. Like, just regarding Copenhagen, we've spoken about them going forward, but for me personally, I've just watched quite a lot of their highlights. Defensively, especially in the fullback areas, they're very, very poor. Like, Kojo, where do you think we can hurt them going forward?
What the advantage I think we have in this game is they're not big goal scorers. So when it comes to defending, they're not the best at it, as you've obviously alluded to. And that's where we have to hit them. So going down the wings, I think obviously it's going to be Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood. This is the kind of game that I've been screaming for, where it's like you just got to attack, you just got to go directly at them. You cannot try and fall back and get them to feel comfortable at the back. Just if you drive at them, you will score goals. And there's evidence towards that this season in general. Also, the fact that they lost their top goal scorer earlier in January, and their top goal scorers now got 3 goals. An amazing 3 goals. It means that we have to just assert that dominance. So if we attack them down the wings, and to be honest, if we allow our players to just be creative as hell, then at the end of the day, we should be killing them in this game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, obviously, Coach is confident in terms of what we could do to them. What I've noticed as well, the 2 centre backs are very slow. Like, you think Maguire's slow, one of them's at least on par. Maguire and the other one's probably a bit slower, to be fair. Like, I was watching, I think it was the Celtic game as well. Eduardo got in behind, at least 3 times in the first 15 minutes. He had 3 1-on-1s. Missed all 3 of them, but he scored the 4th one.
Martial would be more clinical, innit?
No, but that's what I mean. It was literally, there was the most basic ball in behind, and he got in 3 times in the first 15-20 minutes. So Benji, bearing that in mind, how would you approach the game? And I want to hear from your tactical knowledge, the all-knowing...
mastermind.
The mastermind that is Benjamin Pochettino.
Benji mind. There you go.
Honestly, I'll go with our best team. I'll just go with 4-3-3. Bruno and Pogba, get them attacking, get them in the 8s. Obviously, Matic sitting, and obviously the front 3. I'll probably have firstly Mensah at left back, then Wan-Bissaka at right back, and keep the rest of the team as it is. I think we have to, as our coach said, assert the dominance. We have to go in the first 20 minutes, try to score a goal. One of the things about these type of teams is that they grow in confidence over 90 minutes. Yeah. And I feel like they're quite good at set pieces as well. Some of their goals they score from set pieces are quite interesting to see. So I feel like if you don't go in the set of dominance from the start, obviously it's all down to the tactics, and I feel like Ollie.
What tactics would you use then? Why? Let's not worry about Ollie. Let's see. What would you do if you were in charge?
4-3-3 high press. 4-3-3 high press.
That's what he's been doing, by the way.
Get in there, get in
Pretty
their
much.
faces. Get in their faces and don't let them play out from the back. Get into them, just get nasty. Show them we're the dominant side. I think one of the things that we've lacked as a Man United side in recent times, we don't actually fight before we play. Don't try and play before we fight. Fight, kill them off, show them that we are going to fight against them. Then we'll beat them in terms of quality. Because a lot of the times we just try to choose quality. I think we have to show them that, look, we're not pushovers. Show the fight first and then knock them with the quality. I think that's the best way to do it. But we have to press them high. None of this sit back counter attack that we like to see a lot.
Yeah, Benji's alluded to us obviously pressing them very high. Was is there cause for concern that potentially we might be, we might underestimate them? Obviously, I know you guys have already mentioned you don't underestimate them, but you know how we've been against lower teams. That's where we've struggled the most. Granted, with Bruno and the team, it hasn't seemed to have shown as much, but nevertheless, there still has been that sort of. It's almost like we go into the game and thinking we already won before we stepped on the pitch, which is a good mentality to have, but at the same time, you get complacent during the game. Do you think there's a case for us getting complacent? And do you agree with Benji saying let's assert dominance early on and show them that we are the better team?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to make that step in the Champions League, this is like a stepping stone, isn't it? You are going to have to show that progression right now. This is the business end of things now, because like I know I'm Ollie in and all that, Benji, but this is like one of those moments where Ollie's gonna let's see what he's made of, innit, basically, start on the front foot. But I mean, like we have had those slow starts, but now they're rested. They don't have that fatigue thing against them though. You're using that excuse saying, "Oh, they're tired," all that. No excuse now, innit? Apart from Maguire, but even Maguire, that was a walk in the park against last man. He's playing in the park. That's nothing. So that's not an excuse. Another thing about Kojo, I need to apologize to you, by the way, about Fosu Mensah, where he said get rid of him, 100% get rid of him. Terrible, terrible. I made a mistake.
Benji's putting him in his team, by the way. So what do you thought?
No.
Left back.
I saw him against Laskin. I realized what Kojo's on about. I made a mistake. Rid of him. He's terrible, man.
If it's about starting lineup on Footman, I'm down with you, bro.
Kojo, come to you because like Wasser's just alluded to regarding obviously I don't want to pinpoint Fosu Mensah, but would you make any changes to the lineup that Benji's putting? Because he's put Fosu Mensah in instead of I would believe it's Williams because Luke Shaw's not fit.
He's Shaw not fit, by the way.
No, he's not fit. He's not fit. Shaw's out for the season.
Yeah.
Shaw's not fit. He's the only one. So. What do you think regarding that? Kojo, do you think you'd put Benji's lineup up, or were you going for something else?
Oh no, I just thought for Smith. Like, I've never been convinced by him, like ever. So for me, that one for me. He's out. I mean, Brandon Williams recently at left back hasn't been great, but he's someone I would trust more in that position than Fosu Mensah. I think when Fosu Mensah had that game when he came back, he played well, but that was a game that I felt that it was quite comfortable for us to go and get the win. Both teams sucked anyway, so it was what it was. So get Brandon in there and put Fosu on the shop.
You're not putting Chung in, yeah, left back.
Give him that 30-minute cameo when the game's done. Hopefully,
he's actually decent, man. He had a really good game, man.
Chung was good, but it was against last game. We won 7-1 or whatever it is. Just got a comment from Jemson. He can't hear us. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing the same issues or if it's just Gems turn his volume down or whatever it may be. Just let us know in the comments if you are. In fact, they're not going to be able to let us know, are they? Because they can't hear us. If you can hear us, let us know if you can hear us. And also drop a like and subscribe if you are joining us new. Anyways, let's talk about, which players you think are going to be pivotal for us in this game. I think we all probably agree with the lineup, so we don't need to go into it. I would personally play the strongest 11 with Williams over Fosu Mensah. I don't even see how Fosu Mensah is even in contention for that spot, but that's Benji's obviously is on a mad one here. I prefer
Timothy, that's why.
Well, not a left back, maybe a right back, but no chance at left back. Right, Benji, in terms of us going forward, what do you want to see from us? Because obviously you've spoken about the pressing, you've spoken about us going on the front foot, but in terms of patterns of play, is that something that you still think you're not seeing in Ollie's game, or do you think there's other factors that potentially might be contributing to us not playing a certain way?
I think it's I think this match we should see a lot of good football, interchange and movement. I feel like I feel like he needs
Sorry,
what
Jeff.
he needs to do is let Pogba finish a bit more. Pogba needs to start going higher up the pitch and creating more in the final third of the pitch. And one of the things I do want to see us do is keep the ball a bit more in these games.
Yeah.
A lot of the games with the Ollie is a lot of 50% possession, 55% possession. And I feel like this team is capable of 60 to 65% possession of the ball with the midfielders we have. A lot of the play has been rushed over the past 10 games. But we do play some decent spells. But I want us to have one game where we're dominant from start to finish. Obviously, it's difficult to do that, but we're just dominant. We're just going to assert our authority. At the end of the day, without being silly, we have a better team than, no disrespect to Copenhagen. I can't really think of any of their players that will get into our first team. So it should, on paper, should be a very comfortable game. This is a very big match for Matic. I feel like he needs to hold the midfield and allow Bruno and Pogba to go up and create.
Do you think Ollie's going to do that though? Do you think he's going to go 4-3-3? Because I agree with you. I think we have to go 4-3-3 against Liverpool. Can't see it happening, to be honest.
I think he has to. Like, I was looking at the way Madrid play. Look at the way Barcelona play. Look at the way even Bayern Munich play. Look at the way all these other teams play. They all play with two, in the midfield, two players that are kind of advanced. And what they can even do is you allow Bruno and Pogba to combine a bit more. Bruno can actually get in the box a bit more as well, and Pogba can get in the box. Don't forget that Pogba is quite good in the air. He's not bad at finishing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously, if Rashford gets more than wing, and Pogba can actually double up with Martial sometimes for the cross, because sometimes it's Martial by himself. I think Ollie just has to be brave, man. Obviously, fair enough, he wants to go for the safe option and do the 4-2-3-1 and try and win the game. But I think he has to be brave, man. Just go for it. And we don't really have anything to lose. It's not like Europe's not important, but this is the time for him to try out new things in a sense. So Pogba can move up. No one's really going to get angry if he get knocked out. Really, to be fair, the semi-final.
Nah, it's going to be embarrassing. You're going to be sat. You're going to be sat.
Benji's going to be no. Flip this, because Benji's going to be like, Ollie's out. He's our keeper. Get Potter.
If Inter beat us, no one's going to be like whatever. Obviously, we're beat Copenhagen, but I feel like you have to trust Bruno and Pogba, trust the team to show that the team is good. Because you always say that I trust my boys. I think my boys are good. Then allow your boys to do their thing, innit? That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, as Benji said, allow your boys to do your thing. Kojo, where do you sit on that? Because I do agree with him. It is a bit frustrating to see us against teams that we definitely have more quality than playing two DMs. I don't understand why we're respecting him so much. It is frustrating to see that. So do you think that's where the major change needs to be? And progressively moving forward, Ollie needs to be a bit more brave.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's, especially with Pogba, because he knows Pogba has the ability to dictate from deep more than Matic. He tries to ask him to play a little bit deeper, so it doesn't look like we have two DMs, but he's kind of playing like a sort of a box-to-box as well. Maybe that's an indication that he wants to have a defensive midfielder that can do that, so he doesn't have to get Pogba too deep. But in this kind of game, you got to let them take control of the game completely, let them combine, because the worst thing you can do is let them be so far apart. You need to let them be as close as possible, playing 1-2 before one of them goes advances, and then they can play in the other or link up with other players. So you got to let them find express their creativity. You got to let them express themselves on the pitch, whether it's long shots, free kicks, anything that allows them to fully go out there and give the best of them. And then, of course, it's straight knockout now as well. So, if they are tired,
it's only one game, innit? That's what I was thinking.
It's one game.
Do
you think that's going to change the sort of, as Was was about to say, the dynamic? Was, we'll come to you, in fact, you can answer that. What are your thoughts in terms of the one leg thing, and then we'll come back to you, Kojo? Do you think that's
definitely? I mean, usually, say, depending if you're playing home or away, you play differently in it, because you think we've got a home leg after that, then you'll attack more at home, all that business, fans and all that. But one leg is straight knockout. It adds more pressure as well, I think, to the game as well. But like the guys were saying, I mean, we've got the players to go for it and just, smash them for like whatever we need to do. We just do the job early as well. Start quick, get the ball to players like our creative players like Bruno and Pogba, and let them do their thing. Like Benji was saying, what he said there. Let them do that, and they've got the quality. We need and another thing I keep in, like Rashford and players like that need to get involved a bit more. I don't know if he's trying to feel his way into the game or more, obviously, because the injuries kind of had a bit of effect. But now, because he's had a few weeks off, you should try to come, maybe get the ball and then do that 1-2 with Martial. Try to involve players more as well. So I want to see more of that and then take it to them. But if you have possession of the ball and that, it has to be what's the word? Like positive possession. It has to be something. Nobody just keeping it and moving side to side is pointless, isn't it? You have to give those. You have to probe and just kind of see if you can create openings and stretch their defense, isn't it? Basically. So yeah, I'm feeling confident, and I think we've got the personnel to do it. Basically.
I completely agree in terms of the way we should approach the game, which is what you guys have alluded to. I think the most important thing for me is against teams like this that are potentially going to sit back and counter. I assume they're going to do that against us. I just think for me personally, we have to move the ball quickly. That's my biggest frustration with the centre backs and Matic. If any of them having more than 2 touches, they're not doing it right. They should have more than 2 touches unless they really have to. If they're in a situation that they have to have more than 2 touches, control the ball, play the ball. 5 yards, don't try anything in Hollywood, give it to Pogba and Bruno and pass the ball quickly through the lines. I think that's what we've got to do. And like I said at the start, their back four is piss poor, I'm not going to lie. If they were in the Premier League with that back four, they'd be near the bottom of the table, I reckon. Obviously,
are you confident?
I'm confident in terms of the quality we have. If I'm being honest, the way I watched Celtic absolutely annihilate them. Celtic were in their half for 60 minutes. Yes, I know they lost 3-0, but that was just fully against the run of play when they conceded that first goal. Celtic absolutely destroyed him. Even the first leg, Eduardo, like I said, the first 20 minutes, he had 3 1-on-1s. And all it wasn't even a good ball. It was one ball in behind. The line wasn't that high. It was fairly high.
Clinical.
It was one ball in behind. This is what I want to just touch upon. And I'll finish on this before we do the score prediction, etc. Regarding players in particular, like Rashford, etc., and maybe Greenwood to an extent, do you think we don't have enough balance sometimes because they're both kind of on the ball to feed? Does it frustrate you, Kojo, that they don't go in behind as much? And I feel like especially against a team like this, that especially Varela, I've got to say, I know he's one of ours, but defensively he's absolutely shocking. I can see why he got sold. Going forward, he's very good. Defensively, he cannot stand up. You can stand him up. And I can imagine Rashford just giving him nightmares, basically, if he runs at him. Kojo, what do you reckon? Do you think we need to be a bit more aggressive in that sense?
Yeah, we need to. I mean, we have to vary it a little bit. I mean, one of my criticisms of Martial before he went back to number 9 was the number 9 was that he liked the ball to feet too much. And this season, we've seen him running behind, also do hold-up play. He's mixing it up. That's what you want from your striker. So now Rashford is back on the left. And he's starting to, drop a little bit deeper, play long passes, trying to create. Sometimes just drive. You've got the dribbling ability to do so. Yeah. And we've seen it many times this year. The goal against, was it Brighton? Was it Brighton when he beat 2 players off the dribble and then his goal? Stuff like that. Just take him on and kill him.
That's what I wanted to see.
Was that not against? Was it Brighton or Palace?
Palace.
Yeah.
He did it past Bruno, ran in, and then he gave the ball to Martial.
Palace,
quick question: Why do you think Rashford's doing that these days?
What was that?
What do you think the reason of Rashford is? Why do you think he's doing that these days? Like more playing.
It's a mix. It's a mixture of 2 things. Like obviously, he's got the ability. He feels like he's got the ability to do so. So I'm sure maybe.
Benji wants us to say
no. I know he says it's Oli, but
I'm just asking.
No. But this is what I'm talking about. When I always say about players taking initiative, is that you got to judge your situation. Sometimes he does that when he comes back and he does try and take the pass. I'm like, bro, take the guy on, kill him. You can do it. Just do it right now. I understand it could be instruction because I did say in an earlier podcast that when Shaw keeps cutting in, if it's over and over and over, I'm going to look at Oli and say that's an instruction because beforehand he wasn't doing it like that. That is an instruction, you know what I mean? So
very good point.
So, with Rashford, I feel like it's a bit of both because there are times in the game when he tries to take a player on and there are times where he does that too much. So, pick it's decision making at the end of the day. Pick it wisely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pick it wisely and then get goals. But, we just need to go at them, especially Greenwood as well. He's a killer. Just getting behind them, finish.
Love that. Okay, boys, listen, we're going to finish on the score prediction. It's just pretty straightforward, really, obviously. And you can, if you want to, you can mention who you think is going to be a standout player. I'll start just so you guys know. I think, look, based on what I've seen, it has to be Rashford for me. Like, honest to God, Varela can't defend. The guy was getting skinned, but I don't even know their brother's name. Turkish player. I don't know who he is. With all due respect to the guy for Istanbul, never heard of the guy. And he looked like Hazard in his prime. That's how good Varela was making him look. So if Rashford is not running at Varela, and I'm assuming they're going to double up on Greenwood. I'm assuming they're going to double up. I want Rashford to get the ball to his feet and just stand him up and run at him. And 9 out of 10 times, I don't care how many times he gets past him, I want him to do it over and over again, running behind. Because like you guys said, they like to push the defense further up. So for me personally, Rashford should be the start man. He should be the one that causes the most problems. So I'm going to go for Rashford. Score prediction, I think I said 3-0, so I'm just going to stick with that. Based on what I saw against Celtic, we should beat them. If we don't beat them, it's embarrassing. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Benji, what do you reckon?
Player of the match.
You can say man of the match if you want.
One of the match, the one I'm looking forward to most seeing in this game is Martial, of course, because scoring late on in the last game, I'm sure he'll try to get a lot. It'll be interesting to see what Oli does as well in this game. I think we'll probably win 3-1.
Okay, interesting. 3-1. Okay, Vas, what do you reckon?
Man of the match, I'm going to go for Bruno because he's had a couple of not so high level games, and I think he's due a madness. I think he's due a madness. So yeah, I'm going to go for Bruno, man of match. And score wise, I'll go with 3-0. I can't see us conceding. I never see us conceding. You know, I'm like, we got Maguire, Lindelof at the back. We ain't conceding shit. We're forced to Mensa players. We might concede one. But yeah, 3-0, wow. 3-0, and Bruno's the man.
Say no more. And Kojo, to finish off, what are you going for?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for man of the match. I'm gonna go for Pogba. And
all different.
My boy, Mr. Pogba. And I'm gonna go 4-1, and Lingard to come off the bench for the fourth one.
Wait, can we just talk about Lingard for 1 second before we finish the show? I told you he's gonna score. I said
he's getting sold. He's getting sold, son.
I hope he does come on and score, man. I want to see the celebration. But on a level, I genuinely think it's either going to be Greenwood or Rashford because their fullbacks are shit, man. I swear to God. If they turn to Roberto Carlos and flipping some next prime right back, Daniel Alves, I'll give up, man. I swear to God. But you never know. Anyways, boys and girls, thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe. Let us know your team selection. Would you play 4-2 Mensa over Williams? Benji, I don't know if he's high. We don't know what the situation is, but it is what it is. I'm joking. Also, let us know your score predictions down below. As always, drop a like, subscribe on the channel, and show the boys some love on the socials. Apart from that, it's been your boy Usmaan. Go United! Go on! Peace. In a bit.